What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man 3. In the last episode, we took down Hard Man, Magna Man, and... what else did we take? Oh yeah, Gemini Man! And you met my good friend Mega Mario 359. In this episode, we're going to be taking down Snake Man and Needle Man, and I'm not going to spoil the rest. So you guys will just have to see what happens. Alright, so with that being said, we're going to take down Needle Man, because he is weak to the Gemini laser. And I'm going to incorporate a new idea into this video, where there's going to be a short section about each individual Robot Master that you guys can click on to find out more about. And let me know what you guys think of it. I feel bad that I won't be doing it for like the entire, for all the Robot Masters from the previous episodes, but oh well, it is what it is. Better late than never. So let me know what you guys think of that. And Needle Man stage is not too bad for the most part. It's pretty cool. I love the music, that's for sure. Come on. And an extra life that we definitely need. Hence the lack of hubris. And I hope all of you know what hubris is. If you're young enough, I'm sure, actually, I'll give you a get out of jail free pass, but if you're older, or at least if you've taken like an English class, you should know what hubris is. But anyways, so I have a cool story to tell you guys. The other day, yesterday actually, I shadowed a doctor for the first time. I'm thinking of being a doctor. I'm a pre-med student, and I wanted to see like what it was actually like to be a doctor. So my uncle's a pulmonologist, so I went and shadowed him, and I absolutely loved it. It was an absolute blast. It was really cool to see like what it's like, what doctors actually do, like doing rounds and everything, and to know what all of it means, and to learn so much about all the different diseases and all the cures and how all the science of medicine actually works. How they like get a patient and they have to figure out what's wrong with him, and then as a team of doctors they have to come up with what they're going to try and do. And I love that critical thinking aspect of the job. And so it was really just an awesome day, and it makes me 100% sure I want to be a doctor. Now I guess it's still tentative because I haven't experienced a lot of other jobs, but that's a pretty good indicator. So now we are at Needle Man, and he's weak to the Gemini laser. He's really not that bad of a boss. He can be annoying if you miss with your needle early. Boy. Or not your needle, your laser. Because he does quite a bit of damage, but he's not too great at dodging attacks. Even though, right now, he's dodging all of mine. I'm much better at dodging than him, though. So, we end up winning! That's what I'm talking about, Mega Man. He actually looks really cool for the Gemini laser. But, anyways, we just got the Needle Arm and Rush Jet. And the Needle Arm is basically a more powerful buster. You can fire it like 3 times like the normal buster. It's more powerful. It's got a bigger hitbox, too, which is pretty helpful. And that's going to be Snake Man's weakness. And, we also got Rush Jet, which is like Rush Marine, except you can fly. Pretty self-explanatory. So now we move on to the last Robot Master, Snake Man, who's pretty cool, and he's actually a lot of people's favorite Robot Master, and a lot of people love the music in his stage. To be honest, I'm not that big of a fan. I don't really like the music. It's like not bad, it's just I'm not a huge fan. I hate to say it, because I know I'm going to get a lot of criticism for it, but what you gonna do? His stage looks awesome though. I love how all the different walls are like, I guess, snake skin. And we have these little petite snake enemies. They aren't too bad. The set of 3 is pretty difficult to dodge, but when there are petite snakes, there's bound to be a gigantic one, so here we are battling a gigantic snakehead, which really isn't too difficult. Just gotta pay attention while you're battling to look for all the different openings in his sets of either 2, 3, or 4 shots. And darn it, I jumped right into that. But it's alright, because we got plenty of health right up there. And let's drop on down. Yeah, this like more 8-bit part of the music is good, but I don't like the part where it's like do 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 do. Okay, I'm just gonna stop singing for you guys. But I'll point it out when I hear it again. These little pole vaulting guys are not that difficult. You can usually just jump right over them or fire from behind to hit them. This part right here. Listen. I just don't really like that part. I don't know why. So, now here we got another one of these guys, and they take forever, but the right path leads to 2, like, mystery items that we may or may not need, and we don't really need them, but hey, never hurts to try. We could have gotten an E-Tank or a life, so I guess might as well go for it. Now I have to kill this guy again, though, and then we can go to the left to get further into the level. While I'm doing that, on another note, I plan on doing a survival horror game Let's Play soon. I don't know how you guys feel about that. It's not at all like the games I play. I'm actually such a scaredy cat. I don't watch horror movies or anything, so I've never really played a horror game. But my friends and I have all, like, collectively played Amnesia before, and that game was so scary. I was screaming, and yeah. So, but I feel the need to scare myself, and recently I've been watching, like, Silent Hill and Fatal Frame and stuff, and there's a game called Craven Manor my friend pointed out to me that I really want to play. And so I thought I'd do a blind LP of that for you. It's supposed to be like 45 minutes to an hour of gameplay blind. So let me know if you guys want to see that, because I literally will scare myself to death. And really, I hit up and wow. Don't jump, don't jump! Aw, oh, darn it. I feel bad for those guys, but I hit up on my controller. I did it again! Why isn't my up button working? This is not fair, game. This is not fair. My controller is becoming less and less responsive, so sorry about that. I did order a new one, though. I'm getting an SNES controller in the mail with an adapter, of course, so I can play these. And we are magically in the sky now. I don't know how Snake Man's level made it into the sky, but hey, it works. Although, you have to be really careful on these platforms, because they tend to glitch and just shove you right off the platform. And hopefully it doesn't happen to me. It happened to me so many times in the practice runs, it's ridiculous. But these little, like, bullet bill things are just clouds, and they just float along until you shoot them, and that determines their path. So it's actually really helpful to shoot them at the right time to, well, I guess prevent getting hit. Except this platforming, there's no chance for messing up. You have no room. And now we're at Snake Man, who is weak to the needle arm. And I guess I could show it off to you guys. Snake Man's really not difficult. His surge snakes are not difficult to dodge. He just kind of runs back and forth across the stage, and you can just kind of stand on one side and take a hit or two and just fire your needle arm like crazy and take him down. Not very professional, but it gets the job done. And so now we have Search Snake, which is the exact attack he was using against us. It sticks, it can climb up walls, and like crawls on floors. It's pretty good. Not amazing, but it's still pretty good. And Mega Man looks cool with it, so. Alright, so now we should be on to the Wily stages. Or, why can't I move my cursor? Oh, what's going on? Who are these guys? These are the Doc robots. And so the Doc robots are robots created by Dr. Wily, and they actually emulate robots from Mega Man 2. And so these are like 4 more difficult versions of the stages we just beat. So we're gonna start off with my least favorite, Sparkmans. And great intro for the mysterious robot. Just a big question mark. But yeah, you'll hear like the same music. Luckily it's Sparkman's music, which is pretty awesome. So that'll be good, but they're just harder versions of the levels that we've already beaten with a couple bosses. So, oh darn. Now, Capcom plays a nice little trick on here. You're going to want to switch to your Shadow Blade before you go up this ladder, because we have one of those enemies climbing down the ladder that we can't take out with any other weapon. So, watch out for that. And now we have these enemies again that I blatantly missed, but we didn't take that much damage, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Watch out for all these spike pits. Nobody likes spike pits, especially Mega Man. They always seem to be showing up in his games. But these little wheels here are the same as they've always been. Not too big of a deal. We're gonna want to switch back to our Mega Buster here, so we can take this guy out and then take out the missile. I always manage to get hit by this guy's missile. I don't know why, but oh, thank you. And oh, we can outrun it. We made it. Nice. And that was a really short level. Well, kind of. We're at halfway, pretty much, where we meet a remake of Metal Man, and you can see there's the Doc Robot. He's basically just going to act as a bigger Metal Man, and he's weak to the Magnet Missile. I don't know why, but it works. And he really only attacks when you do, so he's a pretty easy boss. But just like that, we continue with the level, and oh boy, this looks really intimidating. What do we have here? Got a nice little spike fall. It's actually not that bad. It's just hitting left on the control pad a couple times. Now we have more of these spark things that I actually just kind of figured out you can kind of get rid of them just by scrolling them off screen, which makes our lives a lot easier. And you're probably wondering at this point, well, how is this your least favorite robot, or Doc Robot stage? Well, so far it's been pretty easy and pretty simple, but the thing is, the final boss of this Doc Robot stage sucks. You'll see why, and I'm sure if you've played Mega Man 2 or watched my LP, you'll know what it is. And darn it, I wanted to scroll that off screen. But yeah, it's pretty rough and easily one of my least favorite robot battles ever, because it's a gigantic, more powerful version, more sporadic, more annoying version of my least favorite Robot Master. Or not least favorite to fight Robot Master from Mega Man 2. And so, here's another thing you'll notice. Same deal, just run across the screen and you'll get past. Be careful to hit spikes, or pits, but alright, this robot is weak to the Gemini laser, and it's our good old buddy Quick Man that we despise. He fires his boomerang all the time, and it's that much more difficult, and he does a ton of damage if he hits you. We might be using an energy tank, no guarantees, but probably. A lot of times it's just better off to get hit by his boomerangs instead of take the massive amount of damage for actually running into him. But luckily we didn't have to use an E-Tank, and we took him down just like that. That went really well. No power upgrade from these guys, but that's alright. So now we're going to go to Gemini Man's revisited stage, which is a little bit more difficult, but I love the graphics in this stage. I always have, and so really cool. This opening section is just as annoying for me as ever. You can see that the sprites for these little, like, I think, are they fleas or ticks or something like that? I think they're fleas, actually. But they're gold, and oh no, don't fall in the pit, don't fall in the pit. Oh my gosh. That was almost scarier than Amnesia. Just kidding, very few things are scarier than Amnesia. They're just as annoying as ever, except now they fire blue fire, which is pretty cool, and I'm not even going to risk jumping over that pit, because I don't trust myself. And we're just going to get away from the pit, away from the pit. It's a much longer section than in the original level. Oh, don't fall in, don't fall in. Okay, we're good. And hey, look at that positioning. That's what I'm talking about. Sadly, we don't get to meet our brother Proto Man, but that's alright. I think we'll be okay without having gotten that little mystery weapon container. I think. No guarantees. I'm not going to say we're fine because we're awesome. But, you know, just covering my bases. So we get to see these lovely rainbow mirror cavern things, if there ever were such a thing. Pretty cool, but I've never heard of a mirror cavern. I guess it makes sense for Gemini Man, it's just, I don't know. And, come on, okay, there we go. Come on, what are those guys? They kind of look like slimes, or you know what? They look like, I think his name is Oscar from Elmo. Just like with a little tail, like a tadpole version or something. Interesting. But now we just got a bunch of these things. Not a big deal. And we move on to this lovely guy. Flashman, he moves so slowly, and it's almost impossible to jump over him. But you know what? I'm gonna do my best for you guys. I'm gonna fight hard. And yeah, it kind of failed. But you know what? It's okay. He's weak to the needle arm, which is pretty easy to spam, so I'm not too worried. You'll eventually see me do a better run of that boss fight. Wink, wink. future hint maybe, but just like that, we're gonna keep on moving. And watch out for this little flea tick thingy that's knocked me into a pit so many times you don't even want to know. But now we get to go to some more Rush Marine, which did not turn out very well last time I used it. But I'm a little bit more confident I'll do well this time. So you could use Rush Jet off the top, and you can do little jumps with Rush Marine, which is kind of cool to get some more of its weapon energy, I guess. Yeah. Now watch out for these initial like 3 bombings, and then you can just jump right up. The shells are probably more dangerous than the bombs themselves. So now these things are just going to keep spawning from the top of the screen. It's not a big deal. Yeah, just watch out. There'll be a lot of them. Hopefully my up button works. And you guys can exit the screen. Thank you very much. And I'll follow you right on down. And after these first 2 go, you can just kind of jump across and yeah. Not too bad. And just like that, we are at the second and final boss of this stage, who is, well, I'm sure you can imagine from all the water, Bubble Man! One of our favorite because he's the least dangerous robots from Mega Man 2. And would you get hit already? I want to show them a nice little trick. Alright, here's a cool little trick. We're going to use some Rush Jet. And the way it works is, Bubble Man can only attack you when you're on the same plane in the screen. So because he's on the ground and you're on Rush Jet, you're technically not on the same plane, so he's not going to respond to any of your attacks or move. So you can just stand there and mash the B button and take him out. Which works really well, as I'm sure you can tell. But, yeah, so we have that level down, and I think I'm going to call it for now. I'm trying to go for longer episodes, but I'm not sure if I want to make to like the 20-minute mark, because this Mega Man games, especially in the classic series, are relatively short. But yeah, this was a good episode. In the next episode, we're going to finish off the Doc robots, and then hopefully find out who's behind all these Doc robots and what's going on. Hopefully get closer to finishing this game. So, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next episode. But until then, this has been Midnight Zero, and this mission is complete.
Megaman!
Needleman was a robot originally created to work in energy mines, specializing in land development and breaking through boulders and bedrock. However, in combat, he's very able with his needle cannon, which is used to barrage foes with spike-shaped bullets that are sharp enough to pierce through 10-inch thick stone. Despite being built like Airman, he's very agile and good at jumping, and he can even remain stationary while in the air to shoot needles at his foes. To accompany his ranged attacking capabilities, he has a set of large spikes that are firmly mounted to his head that he can actually attack and send towards his foes within short range for a strong amount of power. Despite his combat personality, he's very intellectual, and he's liked for his fighting capabilities, but he also has a dry wit and can be very sarcastic, leading to a lot of robot masters disliking him. As far as habits go, he enjoys sewing and knitting, which involve a lot of needles, but ironically doesn't like injections and other medical procedures. Snake Man was originally created to investigate narrow areas and survey topography on uninhabited planets. With his quick and lightweight body, he was well suited for working on any terrain. However, Dr. Wily noticed this and turned him into a combat-oriented robot. He's also the first robot master to have an animal theme for his design. He's very intelligent and shrewd, but he can also be overly tenacious. He actively hunts and corners his prey, which puts him at odds with Hardman, and he enjoys the company of Toadman. However, the feeling is not mutual. He uses the Search Snake, which is a serpentine missile that can move swiftly along the ground and even climb up walls. The Doc robot is a robot created by Dr. Wily that uses old robots' program data to emulate their battle style. However, these robots are larger than the original robots, making them more difficult to dodge. Also, Megaman must defeat 4 of them in Mega Man 3, and when you take a closer look at them, it's said that the right arm emulates a buster, while on the left arm it's supposed to emulate a quick boomerang, and then as for the back attachments, the one on the left, from our point of view, is supposed to be a crash bomber module, where the one on the right is supposed to imitate Bubble Man's weapon.